FC Alliance ESL U8 Practice 4. Practice number 4 begins with dribbling in a grid. Here, players are going to dribble around, keeping control of the ball and knowing where they're going. Next, begin giving them specific ways to dribble, like right foot only. Then transition to dribbling with your left foot only. It's really important that players understand the difference between using your right foot and using your left foot. Next up is boxing. Here, players are going to dribble the ball, moving, but keeping it between the inside of their feet. It's really important that they don't push the ball ahead and chase after it. Next up is a very important inside-outside dribbling. Here, players are going to work on getting quicker with their feet. You're going to dribble with one foot inside and then quick outside. Quick inside, quick outside. And you can switch from right foot to left foot. Players won't dribble like this in a game, but it makes them better with the ball. Now here you see the game switch because, of course, as we're doing all these dribbling exercises, we want to keep things fun and interesting. And of course, if you don't want to do switch, you can also do knockout. This is a fan favorite. If you remember from the other practices, the goal is to keep your ball on the grid while kicking everyone else's balls out. Now here, if the game takes too long, as you can see, we can send in what we call a bulldog. And the bulldog here is in the Red Sox, and his job is to go in and kick as many people's balls out as he can. And look, there we send in a second bulldog, and that just gets the game going quicker so it doesn't take forever. Of course, you encourage the players to not just chase after the same player the entire time if they're a bulldog. To go after a player for a few seconds. If you don't get it, try to find someone else. So keeping the same grid, we now go into the moves part of practice. For practice number 4, the first move that players are going to be working on is the rake. The rake here is fairly simple. They're just going to bring the ball across their body. You try to focus on bringing the ball more across your body than you do forward. There will be a lot of mistakes at first, however, players will eventually get it. As we get good with the rake, we move into what's called the rake and take. Here, players are going to rake the ball across their body with one foot and take it away with the other foot. As you can see on screen, players are going to rake the ball across and then take it away. It's best if they rake it with one foot and use the inside of the other foot to take it away. However, they can also use a variable where they go with the outside of their foot. The final move in this practice is the hook and take. Again, to see a more in-depth explanation, you're going to go to our moves video on our YouTube channel, which breaks it down and shows exactly how you do the hook and take. However, if you watch carefully the players on screen, what they're going to do is they're going to hook the ball back with one foot and then take it away with the other. Just like with the rake and take, we prefer that they hook the ball with one foot and use the inside of the opposite foot to take it away. Once players start getting comfortable, you can go out into the grid. In fact, you can do this with any of the moves and tell them, beat me with the move. The third part of practice number 4 is Corver package number 4. This is a package in the curriculum in which you make a circle with evenly spaced cones. Half your players find a cone on the outside, while half your players start on the inside. The players on the inside of the circle each have a ball. The players on the outside of the circle do not. When you say go, players on the inside dribble and find a player on the outside to pass to. The player passing the ball then takes a place of the player receiving the ball. The player receiving the ball dribbles into the circle and finds a new player to pass to. A lot can be done with this exercise, but let's start with the most important thing, using the inside of feet. Players should primarily be passing and receiving with the inside of their feet. The passes should be medium length, not too short, but also not smacked all the way across the field. Your coaching should focus on this. Also, talk about the communication component. Tell players to make sure that their teammates are ready before they pass the ball. If 2 players play a ball to the same player on the outside, explain that they need to make sure that their teammate knows that they are passing to them. No surprises. Also, when players are comfortable, begin building in moves in the circle. Tell players that when they dribble into the circle, they have to make a move or maybe 2 before they pass. The players can work on the moves that you trained them on that day, or you can let them be creative. As we know, the favorite part of practice for players is a scrimmage. To end practice 4, the players will scrimmage in a game-like format. In this session, however, you will be stopping play periodically to demonstrate several components of the game. The final game is either 4v4 to small goals or 3v3 with added goalkeepers to bigger goals. You've spent 3 practices working mostly on technical. Now you can really emphasize teaching the game. By no means should you forget about individual technical corrections, but you should be teaching players the concept of working as a team. The individual part of this is teaching decision making. You should answer the questions of, I have the ball, what do I do with it? My teammate has a ball, where do I go? The other team has a ball, what do I do? The topic of practice 4 is team shape. This is an opportunity for coaches to work with players on things like spacing, positioning, giving good angles, and moving to space to get open for passes. Your main coaching points should be, see your teammates, give your teammate room to play, change your angle, set up a split. You should also encourage players to begin playing quicker and quicker, make their decisions just a little bit faster than they did before. A crucial component of practice number 4 is stopping play and fixing things. Tell the players freeze and stop them when you want to fix something. Walk to the spot of the play and redo it. Start by explaining what can be done differently. Then once the players understand, demonstrate it. Then finally, let the player do it. Your tone should be positive and encouraging. No telling Billy that his career is ruined because of his poor decisions. Play can be stopped every couple of minutes, but make sure you allow periods of play without stopping so players don't get frustrated or overwhelmed with too much information. Pick your battles. Choose the things which you think are most urgent in order for the team to improve as a whole. Here, the coach did not like the positioning of the players without the ball, nor the decision made by the player with the ball. So he tells the players to freeze. Then he moves the players into better spots on the field. The entire time, the coach is explaining where players should be and why they should be there. It is very important that players understand the why. Then the coach shows the players with the ball a different and better decision. He makes sure again that the players fully understand why the decision is better. Then he lets the players try it on their own. All this said, make sure that you avoid long speeches, keep things quick, simple, and clear.